So, before we begin, this is going to be another editorial with unrelated gameplay in the background. The next editorial will hopefully be one where I can actually use the video to my advantage, a la my Gotta Go Fast editorial on 2D Sonic design. But they take quite a bit more work than normal editorials, and therefore they take quite a bit more time. Anyway, in the last editorial I spent quite a fair amount of time talking about my spotty history with the Xbox, mostly my technical issues with the 360. I tried to make it as clear as possible that I have no ill will towards Xbox. The brand has just fought really hard to earn my distrust. But at the end, I said that there was one thing in recent years that has really made my outlook on their future much more bright. This specific part of the brand pushed my bitter neutrality toward the direction of excitement and hopefulness instead. That positive part of the brand is current head of Xbox, Phil Spencer. As far as I'm concerned, he is single-handedly the most honest and human part of console gaming today. While I don't agree with everything he does or says, he seems to try his very hardest to listen, interact with people, and try to move gaming as a whole to a better place. I get the distinct impression that his brand loyalty is a job and a passion, not the crux of his existence. And I like that. He doesn't act like he's above praising his competition, and his positive actions have even unintentionally forced said competition to feel obligated to do the same thing. I kinda love it. Just to throw a quick history lesson in here, Phil Spencer joined Microsoft as a programmer when he was 20. He worked on a lot of different software before he eventually made his way to the Xbox brand. With Xbox, he was part of the team that came up with the brand in the first place. He then went to work on a cavalcade of their major, and not so major, projects, from Halo and Gears to Forza and Fable. He even worked on projects that never saw the light of day, and some that were only marginally more fortunate that really didn't see the success that they'd hoped for, his favorite of which apparently being Voodoo Vince. Phil Spencer claims to actually spend time playing games, and unlike nearly everyone else in the console brand scene, I actually believe him when he says that. He talks about games in ways that someone who does nothing but market products simply doesn't speak. That tells me that he cares about the games themselves, rather than just the bottom line. Like I said, I don't agree with everything Phil Spencer says or does. I don't know the exact business reasons for doing so, but I think making the Kinect 2.0 an optional peripheral was a bit of a disappointment. I think the peripheral had some chance to be a success with the Xbox One, since everyone who bought the console was slated to have one. I understand that making it optional was probably done to lower the price of the console, as a way to get back into the competition. But playing the long game like Sony did with the PS3 might have been the better option. If they truly trusted that the Kinect was worth including, then they had to have assumed that something truly revolutionary could have been done with it. Maybe it could have been used with all of these newfangled VR headsets or something. The point is, they openly abandon it by making it optional. But more often than not, I agree with and appreciate any time Mr. Spencer speaks. Like I said, he just comes off as genuine, and clearly tries to limit the PR bullcrap as much as possible. He doesn't shy away from admitting failures, nor calling his own brand out. Likewise, he tries to learn from the things that his competitors do, without just riding the waves of their success outright and copying exactly what they do. He tries genuinely hard to make up for the mistakes of the past, rather than trying to hide them or pretend they don't exist like basically everyone else who's got a big role in a brand. Without him in the lead, I doubt we'd have seen the Xbox One S get an internal power supply. I doubt we'd have seen Minecraft continue to be so generously free in design and free of money-grubbing nonsense. I doubt we'd have seen half of the useful, smart OS updates for the Xbox One, or the push towards getting cross-platform purchases and gameplay to play nice with the PC, and to play nice for free. I doubt we'd have seen backwards compatibility, much less backwards compatibility that half the time ends up with the games running better than they did on the 360, and again, for free. I will be honest and say that if I were to buy an Xbox One, it would be my tertiary console, with the PS4 and Wii U coming before it. However, if I did buy an Xbox One, it would almost entirely be because of Phil Spencer. Sure, playing the exclusives would be great. I really want to try Sunset Overdrive, and I enjoy sim racers, so I'd play Forza as well, just like I did on the 360. And who can ignore great deals like Rare Replay or Halo Master Chief Collection? But more than that, I want to support honest, good people like Phil Spencer. I want to show these companies that people like him are priceless. They are the key to any brand's long-lived success, because they are the people you can trust. If I had any advice to give him, as if I'm in any way qualified to give someone of his experience and stature advice, it would be to try and grow a more diverse collection of non-indie exclusives, including new IPs. Of course they're doing that with games like Recore and Scalebound and whatnot, but I think they can push it a lot further. Let's be real here. Ask anyone what Xbox exclusives are coming out, and you're likely to only hear Halo, Forza, Gears, and maybe Fable if people still think Fable Legends exists. While there's more coming out, Microsoft struggles to get out from under the cloud of monotony cast over it for the last few years of the 360. Everything coming out was a sequel shooter, and most would agree that few of them lived up to their predecessors. Is that fair? No. But it's still a problem, so I think openly pushing bigger budget games that are just strange or different will really help them. They should be doing it as much as possible. Risks can be scary, but they can also lead to great things. I want to see a Microsoft that can push titles that have the range that Sony has. Not only does Sony have a lot of great and diverse teams under them, they also have great relationships with second-party and third-party teams that are willing to work out exclusivity or priority deals with them. And these teams are from all over the world. It would be great to see Microsoft have its own quirky Japanese titles that they don't expect to sell particularly well, like Katamari Damacy. I want them to feel comfortable letting studios make potential one-off new IPs like The Last of Us. They'll never break into the JRPG market if they don't convince developers to keep making amazing experiences like Lost Odyssey for their platform. This is the sort of diversity I'm looking for. I'm not trying to downplay the work they have done in this area, nor am I claiming to understand the intricacies that go into incentivizing developers to put strange or risky games on a platform where they traditionally don't do well, much less a platform that is struggling to keep up in terms of player base. But what I do understand is this. The memories I have with quirky and sundry games like Radiata Stories, or We Love Katamari, or Killer 7, or Crusaders of Might and Magic, or Croc, or Heavy Rain, or The Last of Us, or Ratchet & Clank, or Gran Turismo, or Destroy All Humans, or Kingdom Hearts, or Little Big Planet, or Mod Nation Racers, or San Andreas, or Final Fantasy VII, I could go on and on. These memories are memories I will cherish for the rest of my life. Not all of these games were exclusives, but they were all available on a Sony console. It made gaming feel magical, like you could see absolutely anything imaginable crop up on the next page of your favorite magazine, or at the next E3. These games were indescribably diverse because Sony had, and has continued to, foster goodwill and a solid platform where creators feel safe in just making something weird or trying something new. Mr. Spencer, I know if anyone in the industry today has the passion and skill to do this for Xbox, it's you. Make Xbox weird. Next to all these shooters you have going on, and hack and slash games, and heavily dramatic experiences, maybe push a non-indie JRPG, or a kart racer, or a game about butts or something, I don't know. Show me a game that just makes me smile in childlike wonderment, and one that's not a low-risk investment. Show me that you care about and believe in these experiences enough to regularly back up amazingly strange or new experiences that aren't just indie games. Be okay with only expecting mild success. Be okay with harboring cult classics. Be okay with great games for the sake of great games. Let's be frank once more. Many people still see the Xbox as the Doritos and Mountain Dew frat bro console. This may be unfair, but it comes from a long past of Microsoft treating games this way. It comes from focusing on things like adding a Facebook app to your console and then using that as an excuse to raise the price of Xbox Live. It comes from turning the console into a multimedia box rather than focusing on the games. It feels untrustworthy, and it seems like it lacks the ability to be serious or deep or artistic, or most importantly, unabashedly fun. It seems like it lacks the ability to be about games. Phil Spencer already understands this and has made it clear several times, and under his leadership, Microsoft has already done a great deal toward making the Xbox much more about games than it arguably ever has been. So open that up to stranger experiences. Find a major publisher who wants to make another crazy game like Stubbs the Zombie, and work with them. Find 10 of those. Or hell, just do it yourself with internal studios. Make another Voodoo Vince or something, whatever works for your brand. Things like Sea of Thieves look like a great start. But don't confine most of the rest of your highly unique experiences to 5-hour-long, low-risk indie titles. You've worked hard, and your brand deserves better than that. Make Xbox weird, Phil Spencer. Hey, thanks for watching this video. If you're interested in another one, here's the last one that I uploaded. You can also follow me on Twitter or subscribe by hitting the subscribe button.